Good afternoon, Mayfield. It is early this week, Tuesday, April 29th, and this is the homework that is due Friday, May 2nd. And because we have testing this week, the last time I will see most of you academically is going to be tomorrow. So I'm going to do the video tonight. You can turn the homework in tomorrow if you want. You can turn it in to me Thursday or Friday. You just have to make a time to come and actually see me and hand it to me. So, going to the shoebox, I suspected number 2 would be asked for, so I circled it. Let's see. Oh, number 2. Interesting. Number 2. 1 and 6. Okay, so let's look at those. And number 2, please. Okay, so my prediction was fairly accurate. Let's just look at 1 and 6 briefly and see if I can give you some support. So which value from this set is a solution to the equation? So for this, you have really 2 choices. This is a hanger model, right? We have x plus 3 halves, and over here we have 2 and a fourth. So if you want, you could balance your equation, balance your hanger model in order to get x all by itself. Or you could substitute. You could try one answer at a time and put it into the equation for x and see if when you add your number plus 3 halves, if you get 2 and 1/4. There will be only one correct answer, 2 points because I'm expecting to see some work. Number 6, all right, multiplying decimals. We've actually done this for a while. Just friendly reminder, if you would like to do the box method, right, feel free. You could write this then as 437 and 25, and then just pay attention. We have 3 digits behind the decimals in our problem, so make sure it's in your answer that you have 3 digits behind the decimal. Should work, because this is the type of question on MCAP that will be in the non-calculator section. So if you're dependent on the calculator, you're going to be in trouble for the MCAP. So let's practice good skills now. Number 2, okay, volume and fractions. I mean, what could be better? Kevin has a rectangular prism that's made up of identical cubes with no gaps between any. The following figure shows the prism and one of the cubes. What's the total number of cubes used to make up the prism? Enter your answer in the space provided. So 2 ways you could do this. We are talking about volume. And volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. So one way we could solve this is we could find the big volume and divide it by the small volume to see how many of these volumes we would need to create this volume. Now, this isn't so bad. Look, 1 times 3 times 2 and a half. So we are going to want to write that as a fraction. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So we have 1 times 3 times 5, which is 15. So the big volume is 15 over 1 times 1 times 2, which is 15 halves. I'm going to leave that for now. Now I'm going to find the volume of my little cube. Okay, volume is 1/2 times your length, 1/2 times your width, 1/2 times your height. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is, oh, careful, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so I'm going to divide my large volume divided by my small volume to see how many of these cubes I need to fit inside the larger square. I'm going to go ahead, you know how much I love dividing by a common denominator, because once you get the common denominator, the answer is in your face. 2 times 4 gives me 8. 15 times 4 is 60. 8 divided by 8 goes away, and so I get 60 divided by 1. I need 60 of these tiny cubes. So the other thing that I did was I said, well, let me look at these cubes and kind of try to think about how many I would need to make the length and the width and the height. So this is 1/2 of an inch on any side. If I have 3 inches and each of these is 1/2 inch, then how many 1/2s would I need to equal 3? Well, 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. 2 inches, 3 inches. So this way, I would need 6 of the cubes. Going up, again, the height is 1/2 of an inch, so that would be 1 cube, 2 cubes. And then along the side, again, 1/2 of an inch. So 1 inch, 2 inch, or 1 inch would be 1/2 plus 1/2. Another 1/2 plus 1/2 for my 2 inches, and then my 2.5 inches, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these little cubes. And then I could find that volume, which is 2 times 5 times 6. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 6 still gives me 60 of these little cubes. 60 of these little cubes will fit inside the big rectangular prism. All right, hope that helps. Reminder, you can give it to me in class tomorrow. You can give it to me Thursday or Friday as you are walking about the school in between testing. After this week, 2 more homeworks of the year for me. All right, have a great day, everybody. Bye.